Yeah, I used it for the Facebook post. Welcome back again, everyone. It's me, Jonathan Eagle. Let's get a close-up here on me. I'm growing a mustache. I just want it to be looked at. I don't know which one it is, but you won't be able to see it from far away because it's blonde, and it makes me look like a real dirtball, a bigger one than I already did. I just wanted to point it out. Anyway, welcome back to Ruix 2.0. This is the episode 3, and I am here with my good friend Stephon Baldwin, otherwise known as Wxlley, and we're going to bullshit about, whatever comes up. Let's just see. First of all, welcome, buddy. Always a pleasure to see you.
Always great to see you, man.
Yeah, man. So just start off, talk about who you are, you're a Dubuque guy, born and raised. What's the story with you?
Ooh, man. Yeah, man. Dubuque raised. I grew up in a pretty conservative Christian household. So, if it wasn't gospel or anything related to that, it wasn't allowed. So, I basically had a branch out, to find different sounds and different music and find myself really in the things that I was interested in. So, yeah, that started around middle school. And, I mean, ever since then, it's just been like rap, metal, indie, anything I can get my hands on, really.
Right.
Yeah. I love it all.
Yeah.
I love it all.
And so, yeah, was there anybody in your family? Well, you just said that you came from a Christian household. Did any of those old gospel songs kind of
like influence
ring anything
me
in?
and
Yeah,
stuff?
exactly.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, that was like my first intake of like music, you know,
Sure.
and I mean, some of the composition in some of those gospel songs are crazy,
Beautiful,
dude.
yeah.
Crazy, beautiful, and yeah. So that like seeing that and that definitely inspired a lot of my early music, like when I first started coming out. But I feel like that's still kind of stuck with me in the years, especially like composition wise and trying to make something sound as big as possible, and especially when it came to like evoking feelings and stuff like that, and like telling a story or getting a feeling across, you know.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And so, when did that interest kind of start in you? Like, was it pretty early age, or
Pretty,
how'd that go?
yeah, I'd say pretty early. I've always had like an interest in art in some form. Growing up, it was like before I got into like music, it was writing. I used to write children's books.
Really?
Yeah, like when I was in elementary school, I used to write like full-length children's books.
Wow.
So when it wasn't, it was writing, and then like it was illustration or drawing in some capacity, and then like I got into arts and crafts. I used to make these. I was really into wrestling growing up, so I used to make these wrestling belts out of like cardboard and like the black stuff on a binder. I used to like cut that off and use that for the leather strap, and yeah, I was really into that for a while, and
Awesome.
yeah, I just came back to music eventually.
Okay, well, we're going to come back to that, because that's primarily how we know each other.
Yeah.
Is from, the music community here in Dubuque. But now that you've brought it up, do you still kind of mess around with any of that kind of stuff, like other mediums of art? Do you still make belts, for instance?
Oh man,
No? Would you make me a belt someday?
oh absolutely.
I would love to.
Absolutely. I've thought about it like in the past couple of months. I've thought about getting back into that stuff because it was fun, man. And I don't know. But no, as of right now, music is like the only medium that I have.
For sure. Yeah. What about the children's books? Do you still have them?
I think I still have them.
Yeah. Didn't bring any with you, did you?
No. God, that would have been embarrassing. But for a time when I was writing them, my family was like really supportive about it, and my grandmother and my aunt were really adamant about trying to get them published. That never happened. Obviously, I'm not a millionaire, but yeah, I think I still have a couple. I don't know how many I wrote. I want to say a good chunk. I started like series and stuff like that. Like it was deep, man. It was deep. Yeah.
Yeah, let's. You should see if you can find them and bring them out. I would love to see something like that.
Absolutely.
Okay, but off to back to the music. So when did you kind of start making music of your own? You obviously always a music fan, from an early age. When did you start showing interest in wanting to make it yourself, and then, actually making it?
I started freestyling when I was like 7.
7 years old.
7
really?
years old, yeah. It wasn't until I want to say like I was 10 or 11 where I started writing, but like by that time I was over rap and I got really into rock music.
Okay.
So I wrote rock music for a bit, and then like I said, middle school, me and my friends started rap battling on the school bus.
Middle school being like 12, 13.
12,
something like
13,
that? Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
12, 13. And they would always say, like, dude, you're tight, man. Like, you should take it seriously. And, you know, I never really thought anything of it. Like, I liked doing it, but it was just like a pastime. It was something to do with my friends or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, after they were like giving me praises about the stuff I was saying or writing or whatever, I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should. And yeah, so I'd say around 13, like that whole summer, I wrote, I don't know how many songs, man. I buckled down and just went crazy and wrote a bunch of music. And I think I recorded my first song when I was 15. It's terrible though. God, it's awful.
Can you give me a verse from it?
Oh boy.
Come on, we've all been there.
A verse. I don't know.
Or a verse from that era that you remember.
A verse from that era. I remember the hook. I remember the chorus.
All right, let's hear it.
When I walk into the building, man, I got that feeling that when I get up on stage, people gonna be hearing that lyrical man is lyrical man is lyrical man is lyrical man, and then it just loops like that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, that was when I was 15, but I was with a friend of mine's equipment. He had equipment at the time. But it wasn't until like a year later where I got my own equipment, where I say my own, where I borrowed my sister's laptop and got like a DAW on there. And my mom helped me buy a microphone off of Amazon, this cheap little $30 microphone, which I still have. And then I bought my own audio interface or whatever. And then, yeah. Just learned how to do it from there, and yeah, recorded my first song.
Okay, and since then you've been cranking out your own albums, your own singles, you know, stuff like that. What was that like? How long-ish ago?
10 years. It's been 10 years. Yeah.
Okay, so I met you 8 years ago. You're the third guest on the show, but on this new iteration of the show. But you're also the third guest in a row that is involved in the new mentorship, but was also a mentee in the first one.
Yeah.
And so I've been, you know, definitely, you know, heavily leaning into discussions about that because I want to know how it's going for everybody. And, you know, obviously you've been on both sides of the coin for that particular program, the Project One mentorship. So how is it going, and how, like, I don't know, talk about that a little bit. How has it been, you know, coming from being a student and now being an educator, you know?
Dude, it's wild. It's such a trip. I didn't expect it. I think I don't know. I'm a very timid, shy person. So when they asked me if I wanted to come back and mentor, I was like, I wanted to do it, but there was a part of me that was just like, stay away, dude. Don't do it.
Really? Why is that?
I don't know. Just
the timidness coming back?
Yeah, it was part of that, but it was also like, I don't know, just something in me, like the scared little boy in me that didn't want to mess anything up, just kind of wanted to stay out of the way and play his role and whatever. And but no, since coming back to it, like, it's been such like it's been a healing kind of process for me, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's been wonderful.
How so?
Like, I think I'm learning a lot about myself as an artist, and about like collaboration and stuff like that. But it's also like, I mean, because when I was first in the program, when I was 17, 18 years old, it was a really dark time for me. So while a lot of the memories from that time are good, there's still a lot of bad from that. So like coming back to this and being able to like not be in that mindset anymore, it's very healing. It's very cathartic.
Amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. Anything kind of stick out to you? I know you've been sort of collaborating with one student in particular, and then you've been sort of like working in both kind of a rock and funk and hip hop, R&B kind of fashion. Like, yeah, how's that been?
It's been great.
Yeah, you ready for the show at the end? Or?
Man, I wasn't planning on being on stage when the show came around, but I guess I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all for it. Like
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think I've said to you, like, I see a lot of me in the student, like especially at that age where it's just a lot of passion, and they don't specifically know how to really bring it out yet, but it's been fun to try to like guide them in the way that I know. And yeah, I think if they really stick to it, they can do something great, and it's just fun to be a part of that.
I agree. And just like I'm working on the documentary for the program outside of that and just observing, the dynamic between you two is great. Between, I'll just say the student's name, KJ, working with all the students on stage, it's been outstanding to watch that sort of big ensemble grow, from the beginning. And then they start with the, this sort of rock thing with the Nirvana and the Metallica, or not Metallica, but Black Sabbath.
Sabbath, yeah.
And then work toward what you bring to the table with this, funk, R&B, hip hop thing. It's great.
Yeah,
it's great. Is it some of your original stuff that's going to be done at the show, or is it like covers?
Oh yeah, it's just covers.
Covers.
I would never bring my original. That wouldn't be fair of me, but also like, yeah, it just wouldn't make sense. We should do something that we all know and that we all enjoy. So yeah.
Or even, like something that if one of them had something that they wanted to try, I guess that's what I meant. Something original that like you created together.
Sure.
That's what I meant. Not like something you already had.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely that. I think.
Is there?
Especially with the funk R&B rap kind of stuff, we're putting our own spin on these songs. So it's just the lyrics that are, somebody else's basically, but like we're really just disassembling the whole beat and kind of making it our own and putting our own little spin on it. And it's that's cool.
I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been cool to watch. So you said you work in R&B, hip hop, rock, any other genres that you've sort of dabbled in or you want to? I'm sure everything. But, or gospel now too.
Gospel.
At the beginning.
Yeah, you basically said rap, R&B, rock, indie pop, or just alternative music. I want to get into punk a little bit. I want to get into. I've done some like trap stuff, some trap metal, and and things like that. I mean, I know my limitations now.
Sure,
so there's definitely certain things that I know I can't touch, but anything that I can, I want to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say, back to the mentorship, like the 2016 versus the 2024 class, is there anything like a major sort of difference between the two that like you're either glad to see or like that you're missing from the old one? Anything like that?
Oh. I don't think so.
Or is it pretty similar?
It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
I think part of that is because some of the kids that were in the 2016, program are mentors along with me in this one. So like,
true.
It doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. They both kind of mesh.
Yeah.
And it feels good. Yeah.
So it naturally just kind of went that way, probably.
Basically,
just with 3 of you or 4 of you, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's. I guess Austin is one
Austin.
of the. That's great. Okay, I was just curious if there was any differences that you happen to notice.
No.
And then, oh man, I just thought of something.
Yeah.
And now it's gone.
Oh no. Dude, that happens all the time.
And I'd like to apologize that, like, for a few minutes, I might have been away from my mic a little bit. And, so anybody listening at home, sorry if you didn't hear me for a few minutes. All right, so let's see. We covered your sort of bio, upbringing. Tell me about your lyrics a little bit. Like, do you write about where you come from? Like, does a lot of it have to do with, I've listened to your stuff, obviously, but I want to hear you talk about it. Your, hometown, things like that. What can people expect to learn about you from listening to your material?
I would say my early stuff was very personal, but I think it was mostly because I treated music like a diary, or like a journal or whatever. Like it was, I guess I never really expected people to listen to me, or at least to get at the place that I am, like in the community, in the music and the art community here.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of my early stuff was very personal. I talked about things like my depression and my anxiety and just certain life experiences growing up, like friendships and I don't know, being bullied and things like that. My music now isn't I don't really touch on that kind of stuff. It's not as personal, but it's more like I feel like my early stuff was like me centric. You know what I'm saying? It was just me, and I feel like my music now is more stuff that everybody can relate to.
Okay. Sort of more universal
Yeah.
themes and subjects.
Definitely.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you get political ever?
No,
not really.
leave that shit out of there.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Kind of me too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I play drums. It's not like I write that many songs, but I mean, my drumming is very apolitical.
Yeah.
So you talk about your early stuff versus your now stuff. And there was like when I met you, you were going by Lyric.
Yeah.
And now you're Wxlley.
Yeah.
Like, would you say that the two are pretty separate? Like, are they two separate identities? Does one sort of feed into the other? How did the name change come about?
That's a good question. Damn. I feel like Lyric was my adolescent years, and Wxlley now is like my adult years.
Okay.
You know, and I felt like that transition of the names came like at that exact time where like I stopped being a child and I like realized, oh, I'm a man now.
Sure.
Oh
yeah.
no, you know.
Yeah.
But it really came about where like I wanted to change my name for a long time before I actually could do it. I came up with the name and the whole idea of Wxlley in 2018.
Okay.
And I released an album in 2019 called Unknown, and that was supposed to be the last piece of music that Lyric was ever going to put out. But 2019 ended up being a huge year for me. I just got all these new opportunities. I like performed with the orchestra, the Dubuque Symphony Orchestra, and I opened for Nelly and stuff like that, and just got all these new eyes on me.
Wow. I didn't hear about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to come back to some of this.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, and I just got all these new eyes, all this new attention, all these new listeners on me. And it just felt wrong to abandon all of that, like, at that moment. So I kept it going. I kept Lyric going for a couple more years.
Right.
And it was just slowly kind of just eating me inside, because I knew that's not who I wanted to be anymore.
Sure.
It's not who I should have been at that moment or whatever. And the pandemic really, like, though it took a lot away, it really helped me as well, because, like, that isolation gave me the time to focus in on myself and not worry so much about the music and about the, you know, the whole social aspect of it. Like, I could fall back and, you know, kind of be myself and create the music that I wanted to create. And yeah, that was like the ultimate kind of switch for me to, like, be like, okay, this is the perfect time.
Yeah. Okay. And so you'd say that there's definitely a style change and a lyrical change in that shift?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-pandemic versus post, or like,
Yeah.
is it just like mostly the adolescent to adulthood kind of? Is that what marks?
Oh, wow. Damn,
Or,
these are
I mean, it could be
good
both.
questions. No, these are good questions, people.
Thanks. I do very little research, so it's a good compliment to hear.
Man, you know what? I want to say it's the adolescent to adulthood.
Yeah.
Definitely. I feel like Lyric was very, like, he was just unsure of himself and unsure of the world around him and the people around him or whatever else. And I feel like Wxlley is, like, he knows.
Yeah.
He knows what he is, who he is, what direction he wants to go in, and it's a lot more focused.
Sure.
You know? Yeah, that's probably the best way I can put it. It's just a lot more focused and driven.
Yeah, I'd say I could feel that.
Yeah.
Like watching you now versus watching you then. Like, I wouldn't say that you were ever, like, it was never obvious to me that you were ever, I guess, timid, like you said you were. You know, like, it always seemed like you were eager to say what you had to say. Even, you know, when I first met you, like, and then, like, coming back, I think it was an RUI where Christina was like, yeah, we got Wxlley to take the place of whoever canceled at the last minute. I was like, who the hell's that? And then you come down, you're like, Doug, what's up? I'm like, awesome. I didn't even know about it. But yeah, and then you killed it that night, obviously, like I knew you would.
Thank you.
But yeah, like, I've never seen that, but, like, you and I have talked enough to where, like, that's come up before. So I don't know how I want to word this. Is this, would you say when you're on stage that, like, the self-consciousness or the timidness that you felt as a young man, like, or even now, takes sort of a backseat to the show?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I would definitely say that. And it probably did back then too. Like, once I got a mic in my hand, I was fine.
Yeah.
But it was, you know, that prompt to getting up on stage and being that vulnerable in front of people, that was like, oh, can I do this? But yeah, once I got the experience, it was like, okay, you know, what am I worried about?
Right. And you did it. Like, you did it, like, multiple times since then. And it's like, I've never seen that. Like, that sort of any hesitation from you. So it's like, it's always a surprise to hear that, like, oh, I was really, really self-conscious. I was like,
yeah.
No, you weren't. I mean, maybe you were, but, like, it's not for me to say. But
yeah,
like, you always kill it. You know.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Of course. I was going to ask about other mediums of art you might always sort of be interested in or like dabble in, but I guess you already talked about the wrestling belts and
the writing.
The writing. I mean, well, that's part of music too.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that's new from the first time around. The first mentorship program is that there's now like an art aspect, like another level, added to it. And I was not here last night, but I heard that the two classes sort of melded together last night. How did that go?
Yeah, that was cool, but it was I don't know, it was weird. I don't know. Monday was a weird day. I think everyone felt it. Like there was just something in the air that was just like, today feels off.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I mean, everything went smoothly, you know.
That's good.
I think everyone got done what they needed to get done, and no, overall it was fine. It was fine.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's see what else, man. I mean, we're going fast here. Like I have my notes here, but
you want to go off script? We can go off script.
Well, we're gonna have to, yeah. Actually, I do want to get back to this. How'd this Nelly? Well, first of all, how was it playing with Dubuque Symphony Orchestra, and how'd that come about?
That was wild. How did that come about? Honest. I don't know. I think my name kind of just got tossed around, and like the same thing for the Nelly thing. I think my name just kind of got tossed around, and like probably because I did the orchestra thing after the Nelly thing, so I think like my name was definitely really kind of ringing at that time, so that's how they probably heard about me or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
I think but I don't remember an exact moment where like I was asked to do it or anything like that. It just kind of happened.
Okay.
And
it wasn't like you woke up one day and you're like, I think I'm going to get the symphony to collab with me on this next.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
Let's
I had
go.
That. I wish I had that pull, dude.
It's, I mean, because I've seen the symphony do some, interesting things. Not all of it works, but
sure.
It's cool to see them venture out into, doing stuff like that. And I was just wondering if there was some kind of, thing that brought that about, I guess.
No, I don't. I don't know. I think my name was just kind of tossed around because they wanted to do something different, and I think my name was mentioned, and they were like, "Okay." So they reached out, and I mean, I was ecstatic. I was like, "What do you mean, dude? Of course I'll do that." And
was it just you, or was it a bunch of different local?
It was
performers.
It was just me.
Just you. Wow,
yeah.
Amazing. So a whole show.
Yeah. Well, well, not a whole show. Like, it was like, and we still do it to this day, where it's a field trip where all the fifth graders in the district come together at like the Five Flag Center, and they put on this show where it's kind of like a trip through time.
Okay.
So they're playing like Star Wars. They're playing like the Halo theme.
Oh, okay.
And they're playing like just old classical stuff too. And then the part where I come in is they start playing Hamilton, like music from Hamilton.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And so we do like one Hamilton song, and then we do an original song of mine. Yeah, and like I only do those two songs, but it's like every year since 2019, like we've just kept doing it and kept growing, and yeah.
Okay, so you've done it multiple times then. Okay, sweet. And this Nelly thing, that was just Nelly coming to Five Flags or something, and and you like getting to open.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Did you get to meet him?
No,
dude,
I'm so butthurt about that.
Really?
Like, I don't know. I'm not like. At the end of the day, it's not like Nelly is anywhere in my playlist,
Yeah, he's got some good songs.
He's got hits.
Yeah.
He's got hits, but like, and I can acknowledge that, but like, I'm not actively listening to Nelly or Chingy or whatever, but like,
Right.
yeah, that time was crazy too. 'Cause
Was that still lyric or was that?
that was lyric. Yeah.
That was lyric. Okay.
Yeah. And that was like a couple of weeks after the album came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was fully into like, okay, I'm done, but I mean, you get an opportunity like that, you're not going to say no. So like, I think the I don't know even know what to call him. Like the manager over there at the time was looking for local acts to open up, and he talked to a couple business owners and things like that around the city, and they all said my name.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were already kind of garnering a little bit of a reputation for yourself.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Networking.
Networking, I guess. I didn't even see it as networking. I was just performing any chance I could
Well, it
get.
also doesn't take much in this, like this town's pretty hungry for live music.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, sometimes the contingent is all about the covers and the, like whatever. And, you take the good with the bad, but like,
Sure.
There's always a good crowd out for live music.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something different,
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. Do you ever play any of those old lyric songs now live as Wxlley?
I have.
Yeah.
I have. I headlined Dubuque Fest last year, and that whole set, I had an hour-long set, and that whole set was primarily made of lyric songs, just because my new material isn't very family-oriented.
Sure, I could see that.
Yeah. But like I wanted to, I obviously wanted to do it. So like,
Yeah, Dubuque Fest is fun.
Yeah.
It's usually a good time.
Yeah. But there was a period of time where I didn't want to touch any of that material ever again. I didn't want it mentioned. I hated when people, like when I came back, I hated when people called me lyric still. And, yeah. So there was a time where like, if you asked me to do any of that music, I would have just ignored you.
Yeah, really?
Completely, yeah. But in recent years, I've grown to appreciate that time and a lot of the music that came along with it.
It's pretty fucking good.
Dude, like it's crazy. Like I didn't think about it at the time, and I still kind of don't. But like, I go back and I listen to some of the music. I'm like, God damn, dude, some of this is crazy. And I've just grown like a love and appreciation for it that I hadn't had in recent years. And I'm doing some stuff this year where I'm going to be bringing a lot of it back, especially with it being the 5-year anniversary of the album coming out, and also this being the 10-year anniversary of when I first released, my first song and my first EP and stuff like that. So like, yeah, I'm gonna bring it back.
2014. That was
2014.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would like. What about like? You ever thought about like a big show or even a tour where it's like, now that you've sort of reconciled both aspects of your performing career, you know, like doing like a half and half, like almost like a one-man show where you like do like an autobiographical, I don't know, it could be cool.
That'd be
like a
tight.
show where you kind of tell your story through your songs, through the, what I mean? Like start with the lyric stuff and then end with the
Wxlley
stuff.
That's kind of tight.
Yeah?
I've never considered that. I've considered like just bringing back, like doing a full show, like a full set of just lyric stuff, like putting on a whole show for that, and of course like bringing some friends to open up or whatever. But like, yeah, I've considered that, and I kind of want to do that sometime this year. but I've never thought about like starting with lyric stuff and then ending with Wxlley stuff. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, just a thought. Like I just thought of it while we were talking.
This man's a genius, man.
Well, if you do it,
yeah,
you got to give me credit.
Absolutely.
And hire me as a live drummer.
Yes.
No, you don't have to do either of those things.
No, I'll have a poster.
If you want a
over your
live drummer,
face.
you got one.
Yes, dude. Done and done.
What about any other projects in the works? I mean, you talked about you got some shows coming up. You got some dates that you want to plug, or
sure,
anything like that.
April 11th, I'm gonna be at Voices down on Central with River Glenn.
Okay.
We're gonna be doing a couple of songs together. It's his show, but he's just bringing me on. We've written a couple songs together. We're gonna perform those.
Sweet.
And it's always a pleasure. It's always great working with him.
Sure. And what date is that?
April 11th.
April 11th. Okay.
Yeah. April 27th, I'm going to be in Platteville. I'm going to be headlining Cyberfest.
What's that?
That's something I just found out about when I did Driftmore last year. It's basically run by the same people.
Okay.
That do Driftmore.
Yeah.
But it's
big fest kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've been told, it's held in like this kind of basement, this danky basement, and there's like a stage set up, and it's a lot less open, but it's still as much intimate as Driftmore.
Okay.
It's just people that like making music coming together and performing and stuff like that. So I'm all about that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of basement shows in my time, and
Yeah.
they're almost always fun.
Oh.
I mean, they can be a blast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that sounds really cool. Cyberfest.
What
else?
And then June 14th is that's another outside show, and that's when I'm bringing back like the lyric stuff and stuff like that. June 14th, that will be in front of the Town Clock, and it's some kind of festival they're throwing out there. I don't have all the
That wouldn't be
small
Dubuque Fest yet,
details.
right? Or no,
No.
that'd be in May. So
Yeah.
something. Okay, in
It's-
June at the Town Clocks.
Yeah.
I mean, they do that shit all summer.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Exactly.
any number of things, but yeah, keep that in mind. June 14th.
June 14th. And then, just whatever pops up in between then. I'm going to be working with another musician in the city, Ty Bailey. He's a great guitarist, a great singer. And we're going to be doing some kind of acoustic stuff.
Okay.
Just around bars and stuff like that, performing covers and maybe some originals are thrown in there. And
Nice. That's fun.
yeah, and dates for that will be coming out pretty soon. And just whatever else I'm feeling in the moment. From I wake up one day and I'm like, I want to throw a show. I'm gonna, I'm gonna do it. So yeah.
And that's the great thing about where we live is that like you can do that.
Yeah.
And most of the time people will come.
Yeah.
With
enough like advertising and like planning and stuff.
Well,
like that.
yeah, sure. I mean, talk about a good, community for like it's very welcoming for arts and music, but you can see that other side of the coin sometimes too, where like there's ambivalence sometimes too. So you do have to actually, I don't know. What's your experience with that? I've been coming up and like playing in bands in Dubuque since Burnt Toast, 1992. I think is my first band.
Jeez,
and,
that's a tight name though.
Yeah, we were mostly Nirvana covers and stuff like that. We had, I think, 1 or 2 original songs. They were the dumbest shit you've ever heard.
Word.
But it was fun. 1992 is when and it's been hit and miss.
Yeah.
I mean, for 30 years, 32 years, whatever. What's been your experience?
Kind of similar. I started performing in 2016, and I don't know. Like my early years, there was a lot of I had a lot of support, like Case the Joint, another local rapper here, a
Yep.
legend here.
Absolutely. Former guest on this show,
Absolutely.
the old version, anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully, future guest again.
I'd love that.
We'll see.
He has been very much like a mentor for me over the years, and after the program ended, he booked me my first show because he was throwing shows at the time, and he put me on that and kept bringing me back, and that's how I kind of got my name out there and built a fan base and stuff like that. And but as far as like the art scene, like other local rappers around here, they didn't really show me love like that early on.
Is that right?
Yeah. There were a couple of them that, I still got love for, and we still collaborate and stuff like that. But early on, yeah, it was, or at least I felt like for me in my position, it felt like no one was really paying attention to me.
Yeah.
But, all those years and of like proving myself and what I can do and stuff like that, it's got me to the position now where I can throw my own show, and I know people will come out. So like, yeah, I can't really complain.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
The past. Yeah,
I've heard that. Like I have a nephew who is a hip hop performer in this town too, Lil Rager.
Yeah,
you know him?
I know Rager. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll give him a shout. Anyway, and he said, similar things to me. Like, sometimes it's great, and sometimes it can be pretty unforgiving. You just never know.
Yeah.
And that's sort of how it's been in my experience too. Over the years, but you just keep doing it because you love it.
Exactly.
And that's what it's about.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Any more albums, collaborations? You got a tour coming out? Are you planning one? Anything? Talk about your shit.
I am definitely planning a tour sometime this year.
This year?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely going to happen.
Well, keep your eye on... Do you have a website? Or
no, I should, though. They're cheap. I can get one for cheap. I should have one. But I mean, yeah, I'm on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and whatever else.
Okay.
But yeah, follow me on that if you want to get stay updated. But yeah, I want to start a tour. I got like a bunch of music that I've written over the past couple of years that I've never had the chance to like record. But it's some of like the best stuff I've ever written.
Really?
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. People like sing praises about the stuff I have now, like out now, but dude.
But you're sitting on...
You're
sitting on some gold?
Some crazy shit.
How much?
I have a full EP written.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Woody Guthrie here. Sitting on unfinished business.
Dude, I'm sitting on a full EP, a bunch of like just little singles and stuff like that, like different genres. Like I got...
That's what I was going to ask, if it was like mostly rock stuff or...
Yeah.
Okay.
I got some alternative stuff. I got a punk song I'm sitting on. I got, of course, like rap stuff and stuff, but then I also got R&B and...
Hell yeah.
Yeah, just a bunch of unreleased stuff, and I want to try to get, if not all of it, at least some of it out this year.
Yeah.
At least definitely the EP, because I wrote that EP in that transition space from lyric to Wxlley, so it's very like, it's very special to me, and I don't know, I love it. The lyrics are like, I don't know, just some of the best lyrics I've ever written.
Awesome,
yeah.
I bet. Yeah, get some local talent behind it, and you got yourself a... What would you call it? I mean,
the tour?
No, well, the EP, if the stuff that's written like in the transition period, would you?
Yeah, I already have a name and everything for it. It's called Slumpy.
Slumpy. Oh, Slumpy. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Slumpy.
Okay, so look for that.
Yeah.
That's a whole other persona then, or that's the name of the EP.
That's the name of the EP.
Okay,
yeah, Slumpy.
but I'm saying, like, because it was written during the transition, is it going to be a lyric or is it going to be a Wxlley?
It's Wxlley. It's definitely Wxlley, especially because of a lot of the lyrical content wouldn't be something Lyric would say.
Gotcha.
But it's like, it's crazy. Like you can hear me losing that like adolescent side of me all throughout it, like that innocence kind of like
awesome.
That's what the whole project is just me losing that innocence and transitioning into who I am.
Awesome.
now.
I'm excited to hear that, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Well, I don't really have any other questions. We can just bullshit for a while.
Let's bullshit.
That's what we always do at the end. Now, listen, I found this little box of questions. It was like a kids game that I found at my lady's house this morning, and I was going to bring like one of the random questions and just like get started with it. And I forgot it like an idiot. But I remember the question that I pulled out, and I'll just ask you, and we'll free for all talk on this, or freestyle talk on this.
Sure.
Of anything that you own, what's the one thing that you would never want to have damaged, stolen, or lost?
Ooh.
That's just a tough one. And some of those questions I was pulling out, I was like, this is pretty deep for like a kid's game.
For a kid, yeah.
But that's the one I remember right now. And I might actually start bringing these to events just, for the hell of it. It's fun.
You should.
These,
That's a
whatever.
deep-ass
So,
question, dude.
That's the question I have for you.
Oh, my God.
And it doesn't even have to be like well, I guess it would have to be a material thing because in order for it to get stolen in the first place or lost. But yeah, what do you think? I said my iPhone, and then I immediately regretted it because I was like, "That's a fucking basic bitch."
Yeah, I can replace
thing
that.
to say.
I can replace that at any time. I don't know. I mean, because that's the thing, though. Like a lot of material stuff that I own is replaceable.
Yeah.
Like though it's great to have it. Like if it got stolen, it's not like it's the end of the world. I can replace it. I don't.
I like my truck. I guess I wouldn't want that to be stolen or lost.
True. I don't know. Maybe my I just bought a microphone. I just bought a new microphone.
Ooh, what kind?
It's a Rode NTK. It's a ribbon microphone. And it comes with like this power supply with it. Like it's a whole box, bro. You turn it on and it's crazy. It sounds crazy. But it's like my dream microphone.
Yeah.
At least like the dream microphone I can afford.
Sure, yeah. Like, because I'm sure you could think of something like, oh, okay, that's a little bit more expensive.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh, yeah. There's like this copper-headed microphone that I saw a couple of years ago, and it's like it's like 1,000 and some change or whatever, and I was like, I want that one, but that's not going to happen for a while. But yeah, the microphone I have now is probably something I would lose my shit if anything ever happened to it.
Yeah.
Because that all that music that I was talking about that I've just been sitting on too,
right,
is like I've been sitting on it partially because I wanted that microphone to record it all.
Okay.
Because my friend had it before me, and I got to like test with it.
So
I was like, ooh.
You experienced the mic first.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I like this. So yeah, I wanted that microphone before I got to any of the stuff that I'm going to be releasing. So yeah, probably the microphone.
Microphone. Okay.
Yeah.
It's sad that for me it's not. I mean, I still have drums. I love my drums, but I could replace those.
Sure.
I mean, I don't own anything that's worth. Well, my record collection. I wouldn't want to lose that.
Yeah.
I've done that before, and that sucks.
Like you've lost your record collection?
Well, I mean, I had Unforgivable Records for a couple of years. Store above Monks, and didn't work out business-wise, and then I was sort of left without a collection anymore. I thought I was done, but now I've built it back up to a nice level, and
that's good.
I wouldn't want to lose it again.
No.
Geez, I don't know. Yeah, we'll stick with that, I guess.
Yeah.
That's something to think about, though, right?
That's good. No,
it makes you think: is there anything of material value that I really I give a shit about enough,
right?
To where I'd be like, that's the one thing I couldn't live without.
Yeah.
And the only reason I said iPhone right away is because I have a lot of shit in there.
No, your life is on that thing, dude.
I write notes to myself in there. I write lyrics. I write, anything.
Absolutely. Photos, right?
Yeah. So I just wouldn't want to lose the content.
No.
But the actual thing, who cares?
Who cares, right? But I mean, there's the cloud and shit. You know, like a lot of that stuff can be backed up. But
exactly.
Like, no, I resonate with that heavy.
Yeah.
I still got my
and it works. It works as kind of like a with GarageBand. Listen to me, like I sound like an iPhone commercial. No. Whatever. And like it's just because there's a lot of stuff on there that I wouldn't want to do without.
Absolutely.
But I did kind of feel like, oh, okay, that's not a very good answer.
I think
what the hell?
That suffices. That's fine. That's fine.
I'll go with the record collection or my truck. I like my truck.
Okay.
Although I have been looking at other trucks lately too.
Oh, you're cheating.
Shh, don't let him hear. He'll start fucking with me again.
I still got my journal from like elementary school.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like
you didn't bring it, did you?
No.
Oh man, I would love to hear some of that.
Oh no, you don't. So I probably wouldn't want to part ways with that.
Yeah.
I'm probably glad I still have that. Yeah.
For because you'd forget or because you don't want other people reading it? Or both?
Probably both,
yeah.
But mostly just because I don't want to lose those memories.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want to. That's all I have from that time period. You know, and like photos and whatever are like they're whatever, but like to know where my mind was at during that time period is like that's precious.
The only way you can. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. I have stuff like that I hold on to too. Lots of it gets lost over the years, but
sure.
I mean, who knows? My brothers and I used to record our voices, and we were kids, so we just talked about poop and toilets and stuff like that, and it was fun. And I was like, I never want to lose this. Yeah. Mostly because if somebody found it, I'd be embarrassed. But we did lose it. I still can't find it anywhere. Yeah. I wish I had that thing, man. It would be rife for samples. I'll tell you that much.
I'm saying, dude. Oh, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
That's another thing why the phone is so valuable, because I got a lot of voice memos and stuff like that, too.
Yeah, likewise. I do, too. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's a good tool. I hate to say that, because 20, 30 years ago, I did live without it, and I was fine. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
The world has changed since then,
world's changed.
Dude. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. Well, listen, this has been fun. I think we're probably about out of time. Tell the world your links, where they can find you, all that.
Yeah. Hello, world. You can find me anywhere, like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, WXLLEY_music, or just look up WXLLEY Wxlley. All my music's on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. I'm on Bandcamp. Yeah, just about anything you can think of. I hope to create some music that resonates with you and what you're going through. And I hope you come out to a show. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. And just before we go, I got a couple of things to, just promote myself. Yeah. I personally am going to be doing an event called Pachaka Cha. It's a spoken word event. It'll be here at this bar, Smokestack. Just look at smokestackdbq.com. I cannot remember the date to save my life right now. It's April something, like mid-April. And then I'll be hosting the next RUI, Readings Under the Influence. Also here at Smokestack, another spoken word event with live music and games and bullshit. And that's April 30th, I believe. They're both on a Tuesday. And then DAC-wise, we've got, obviously the show. That's coming up in April. Yeah. The Dubuque Area Arts Collective Project One mentorship is culminating in this big rock show, music show / art show that's happening here at the Smokestack as well. And then open mics on Thursdays. Today's Wednesday, so the next one's tomorrow. And then just every Thursday. All ages open mics are the first Sunday of every month. So let's see, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. First Fridays is another AAC sponsored event, and that one is coming up on April 5th, which is not the day after tomorrow, but the following Friday. Sun Green, Neil Young tribute with our very own Dean Wellman, Smokestack's very own Dean Wellman, and DAC's. 329, that's also here at Smokestack. This is all Smokestack stuff, and the monthly Latin show is also coming up this weekend as well. So that's Sun Green on Friday the 29th, the Latin night on the 30th, Saturday. So don't miss those. And if you forget any of that, you can always go to smokestackdbq.com to check out events, anything that I might have missed. Stephon, buddy, it's been awesome. Thanks for coming down and hanging out with me.
I appreciate you so much.
This has been great.
Yeah.
This has been Ruix 2.0, episode 3. Thanks for tuning in, y'all, and we'll see you next time. Bye. And we did it.
Dude.